Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special draft on the channel because today I am battling against you, my subscribers, because it's a big deal that we got to 20,000 and I really wanted to celebrate by doing something with the community. So I've picked 7 of you to face me in an epic draft. We'll be doing the draft and then I'll play a best of 1 game against each person, so it'll overall be a 7-game battle. Whoever gets to 4 wins is victorious, me versus the viewers. And if this is popular and you folks enjoy it, let me know in the comments and I'll do more of them in the future. We are going to start the draft off. Phyrexia all will be 1. Let's hope for the best. And we actually opened up a pretty sweet rare. People have been telling me a lot about how much they like the Argenta Masticore. First strike protection from multicolored. So 5 mana 5/5 first strike is huge. One of the people had an internet bug. And then you can discard a card and you can destroy permanents with mana value less than or equal to it. So you just get like free removal spells with all of your cards. So that's pretty cool. And I think we're going to take it here, especially because it's colorless. What else is in this pack? Maybe there's something else I'd want. I don't love Shrapnel. Slinger. I don't love Thirsting Roots as a first pick. Prologue to Phyrexia, not really. Blazing Crescendo, not really. There's nothing really I'd love to first pick. Annihilating Glare is fine. I don't love Barbed Batterfist, but it's also fine. Throwing Bird's the sort of card that can do good work. And then we're just going to take the Masticore and see what it shall do for us. Okay, so we started off with a colorless card, so we can really go any direction from here. And that could be better for viewing, because I know I'm in the lower corner. Maybe a little bit bigger. I have no idea. But anyway, Annex Sentry, pretty reasonable card. I like getting into white. I think it's a very good color. And also, just great card. There's also Rot Priest, but it's a gold card, which means it's black and green, which makes it less flexible. Harder to end up playing it at the end of your draft. Planar Disruption, solid removal. Ruthless Predation, also solid. But overall, I just think Annex Sentry is the best card. It's just really powerful to have a 1/4 that also takes care of one of your opposing creatures and also has Toxic, which makes it essentially 2 power if your deck cares about getting poison, or can also help with Corrupted. So we're just going to take the Annex Sentry. Mirex. So you can tap it for any color, but only 1 time, and then you can start making mites. That seems pretty powerful. I've never seen it in play. Interesting. There's also Chittering Skitterling, which can do good work. There's no white card as a follow-up, which is interesting. Actually, there is Vanish to Eternity. And 2 uncommons are missing out of the pack, so not a huge signal, because these commons kind of are bad. I think we might take this Mirex. If we can get our mana to be good, like maybe getting a Terramorphic Expanse, the ability to start churning out mites with your land is pretty good in the late game. Even though it is colorless early, it does come into play untapped, and it can be tapping for any color the turn it comes into play. So I think this is a pretty good land, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. The Seed Core. Okay, you can spend mana of any color to cast your Phyrexian spells, or you can turn your 1/1s +2/+1. Which is actually kind of crazy with the land I already have, because I can make a Might token with this one, and then I can use this land to pump it up +2/+1 if they've got 3 poison, which the other land helps me get. Oh, the dream synergy in my mana base. What other cards do I like in this pack? There's Apostle of Invasion, which pretty reasonable sometimes. Big top-end guy. Testament Bearer can also be reasonable. I think I'm going to take the Seed Core. I think that's just such a good combo to have in my mana base, and it kind of fits into like any deck that even remotely cares about poison. So any green deck can probably care about it. Any black deck, any white deck. Blue sometimes even. Testament Bearer would maybe be my second pick. But overall, I'm happy to get this little land combo early in this draft. And I get to take some time to read the signals. I have the Annex Sentry, I've got the Masticore. Honestly, these 2 lands and the Masticore can go into any color combination. Here we see there is a Chittering Skitterling, which is another good card that can play well with the Mirex. Like, make a token, sacrifice it. I'm not a huge fan of Plague Nurse. I think there's a lot of red cards here, but I don't love them. I think Barbed Batterfist is the best one. But I don't love Bring the Ending either. Indoctrination Attendant is not my favorite, though it's fine. I think I'm going to take the Chittering Skitterling, because I think it plays well with these lands that I have, and potential black-white deck. But there is some red here that we will note, so maybe we can go red in some capacity. Okay, and now there is an Incisor Glider, which can play really well in black-white. Like, black-white might be the best home for this card. There is a couple of green cards, the Lattice Blade Mantis and the Noxious Assault. And then there's like Shieldred's Head Cleaver as a black card to follow up the Skitterling. I think I'm going to take the Incisor Glider. 2-drops are really important, and I think this card can do really well in Black-White. Black-White is the home for it. I don't think you really want it in other decks. And you really need to make sure you prioritize 2-drops so you don't get run over. I think it's between that, the Head Cleaver, and the Mantis. Those are the 3 cards, but I think I could play like white-green, but this card doesn't care about poison, which I kind of want to care about in my draft. Okay. Now there's Gleeful Demolition as a way to kill one of my might tokens, which I can actually generate fairly easily to make 3 1/1s. Synthesizer as a 2-drop in blue. There's a white card, which can actually do some good work sometimes, I feel like. And there's a Basilisk if I wanted to go towards green. I could take Zealot's Conviction. That could definitely do some work. My creatures are currently all low power, which isn't the best with Zealot's Conviction, but I'm sure I'm going to end up with some like 3/1s and stuff, or 2/2s. Ichor Spit Basilisk. So I could go green a little bit as well. I'm just going to take the Conviction, though. Nothing too crazy in this pack. Another card for my mana base, the Fair Basilica. There's a Basilisk. There's a Cutthroat Centurion. There's a couple of blue spells. I think it's between the Fair Basilica, which I don't love, or the Basilisk, which, again, could be fine. I could play like white-green or something. I kind of like this as a defensive option. Centurion goes with a Skitterling, which I don't really care about. So I think I'll take this over the Basilica. Okay, and now there's a Vat of Rebirth, which I don't like as a card, really. There's also Thirsting Roots. Some red. Resistance Reunited can do work sometimes. I think I'll take the Thirsting Roots, give myself some flexibility. And let's just look at how our deck is breaking down. We've got this Masticore. We've got a few white cards. I'm not really sure which colors are open, but we have a good core of colorless options that are going to make our deck good no matter what we do. Okay, Bone Picker Scourge kind of plays into our black-white corrupted deck plan. There's a Zealot's Conviction, but I think we're overall in okay shape. Seeing a late couple black-white cards is nice. I don't think Mere Kinsmith is very good. I've never really found a use for it or seen it in play. And now there's a Thirsting Roots. There's a Cutthroat Centurion. I'll just take the Centurion in case I ever need random 3-drops. I don't think I ever need multiple Thirsting Roots. But yeah, so if we end up in black-white, we have a decent start for that. We don't have a lot of 2-drops. We don't have good ways to enable Corrupted early to help this Incisor Glider. But I don't think we've been really missing out on any super strong cards. And we kind of have a little bit of flexibility to go towards green. If we open something, we could even like audible into red for a good enough rare in pack 2. But I don't think that's really worth doing. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think this Masticore is really good, though. Okay, we got a late Testament Bearer. That's good. I think this card's actually good. Because you usually just trade it off and get some value from it, which just makes it a nice little option. So I like seeing the Testament Bearer here. It's weird that they give you the way that the site works is it slowly ticks down the time over time, but I can't believe it gives you 20 seconds to choose between 2 cards. I'll take Free from Flesh. I'm more worried about facing that. Okay, Noxious Assault last pick. Interesting. I don't really love Noxious Assault for me. If I wanted to go black-white, I think this deck looks pretty good. White didn't seem super open. Let's see what's in pack 2. Jawbone Duelist is fantastic for my deck. Double Strike helps me enable Toxic. Really like this option. Especially because I have some decent white cards already, and it plays really good with the Seed Core. Turning that into a 3/2 Double Strike. There's also a Crawling Chorus that I could potentially play, a Flensing Raptor, Justiciar as a 2-drop. Green Sun's Twilight is pretty good. I didn't really see a good reason to play green, though. So I think I'm just going to take the Jawbone Duelist and try to play black-white, still stick to my guns, so to speak. Zealot's Conviction also plays well with the Jawbone Duelist. Duelist is just a really good card in my deck. I don't really want the Cutthroat Centurion. I'd rather have Chitterling, Skitterling as my 3-drop of choice for my black 3-drop for sacrificing. So yeah, we're going to take the Duelist here. If I wasn't taking that, I think I would take Flensing Raptor, maybe. I don't really want to take the Crawling Cores first, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Ooh, Kemba. There's also an Annex Sentry. And the Duelist of Deep Faith. So you can attach equipments and make cats. I don't really have equipments. I do have some sack outlets. But there's an Annex Sentry as well. And there's a Duelist of Deep Faith. Annex Sentry is just better, so I would take Annex Sentry. Is Kemba worth taking, though, is the question. I think I have plenty to do in the late game with my mana, thanks to this Mirex. And the Seed Core to some degree, even. I don't think I need the Kemba. 5 mana to make a 2/2 is nice, but it's kind of slow. And generally, your 2-drops are trading off a lot. So I think I'm going to take the Annex Sentry and then hope to wheel one of these 2-drops, honestly. Either the Justiciar, the Duelist, or the Kemba. I don't think Kemba is going to wheel, and I don't think Duelist is going to wheel. This guy might wheel, but even then I'm not super optimistic. We might wheel Testament Bearer, though. We're probably going to get something back from this pack. Okay. We do need 2-drops, but I don't like Fleshless Gladiator really at all. I've not been impressed. It does do some stuff. You can use it as a sacrifice thing. Sometimes you just need 2-drops. We have 2 2-drops right now. I'm going to take Complete Devotion right now, maybe. Because we have some toxic stuff. I guess it's not the best in our deck. Maybe we just need the Gladiator as a 2-drop. We could also take Testament Bearer, but it might wheel based on the other one wheeling. I think I'll just try to make sure I lock up at least 6 2-drops. Make sure I'm secure in that way. But I wish I had some more toxic early game stuff. Okay, and now there's a Vran. There's also an Incisor Glider, but I don't really prioritize the Incisor Glider. Vran is just a good card. Like, when your creatures die, they lose 2 life, and you gain 2 life. You can just start sending in your Might tokens to drain them for 2. Just a great card. I do like Duelist of Deep Faith, and I think it's an important card in this deck, an important piece of the puzzle. But Vran is just really, really annoying. I had to like use removal spells on it just to kill it because my opponent was just draining me out with it. We're seeing a lot of Duelists though, which is encouraging. And we're getting 2-drops. I don't regret taking the Gladiator because I do want to make sure I have like 2-drop security, and I don't like have too few. You really can't have too many in this set. Like 7 is fine, 8 is fine probably, but hopefully we can get some good ones. There's a Scheming Aspirant. When you proliferate, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. I don't currently have any proliferate. I think I'm just going to take Testament Bearer. I don't really think this card's good in my deck. I don't have any of the rats that die to proliferate. There's the Fair Basilica and the Dross Pits, but again, I already have a pretty good way to use my mana with my lands. So I don't really need to sacrifice my lands to get extra cards in this case. So yeah, we'll just take the Testament Bearer. Ooh, Bladed Ambassador. That's a huge pickup. Great 2-drop for the deck. Has a indestructible ability, which is always nice. And then after that, I would probably take Offer Immortality or something. But yeah, getting another good 2-drop. The more good 2-drops I get, the better I'll be. Okay, there's a... I'm just going to take the Sylvok Battle Chair. I don't really want the Infectious Inquiry. I think I have a great 3-drops right now. Bone Picker Scourge being the worst of them. I've got a great curve. I'm really liking this deck. Just take the chair so I don't have to face it. I'm just going to start taking the best cards out of these packs because I don't want to have to face off against them. I might have to be a little bit weaker in the cards that I end up playing, but I'm not playing the Cutthroat Centurion anyway. I already have one that's not in at the moment. I could end up playing it, but you never know. So going into pack 3, I need about 10 playables. Ooh, perfect. We wheeled Justiciar. There's Necrogen Communion as another option, which plays well with Jawbone Duelist, Incisor Glider. And then there's Whisper of the Dross. I don't love Necrogen Communion. I also kind of have enough 2-drops, though. I think I'll be good on 2-drops. I'm going to take the Necrogen Communion. I have some flyers that I can put it on. And I think I just need help making sure I get Corrupted enabled. Okay, Testament Bearer versus Basilica Shepherd. I'll take the Testament Bearer. I just think it's a good card. I just like the Testament Bearer. Nobody else does, apparently. So the Stinging Hive Master. Annihilating Glare. I'm going to take the Glare. I don't have removal. Even if I only use this for the 5-mana mode a lot of the time, it's still going to be nice. So I think my deck got a lot better with those like picks to round it out. I've got one toxic guy, another toxic card, 3-4 toxic cards. I think Nitrogen Community is actually nice here. Making sure I can somewhat enable toxic is good, I think. Because I need to be able to corrupt my opponents to really take advantage of some of my cards. I might end up cutting like the Bone Picker Scourge in favor of more cards that help me corrupt my opponent. Similarly with the Incisor Glider. Okay, we'll take one Fair Basilica. I've noticed, I think one of the reasons these cards are a lot worse than like cycling lands is because you have to like play them. So you're like delayed in the late game when you get to use them. So I don't really love them for that reason. Okay, going into pack 3, we have a solid deck, but nothing too special, I would say. Our deck doesn't enable Toxic very well, but a lot of our cards want us to be able to. Okay. So there's Anoint with Affliction as removal. Safe House doesn't do anything. It's a 1-drop that actually is reasonable, but I'm not really looking for that right now. I'm kind of looking for removal spells and ways to enable Corrupted. Porcelain Cell similarly. Like Flensing Raptor would be a card that I do want, because it's a good 3-drop to help me enable Toxic. It's good with Duelist. Good with a lot of my cards, honestly. But I think we'll just take the Anoint with Affliction, get a good removal spell, and then hope for the best in the rest of the pack. Getting a Flensing Raptor would be nice. We might wheel Charge of the Mites or Raptor or one of these white cards, because I don't think 4 other players are in white. And so we'll just get the Anoint with Affliction. Skrelv's Hive is amazing. What a pickup. It actually plays super well with a lot of our other cards, too. Just generates us a whole huge army. Perfect pickup. Perfect card for our deck. Really happy to see this. The person that passed it to me will regret it. We shall defeat them all. So yeah, really happy to see Skrelv's Hive. Plated Onslaught. There's also Rib Skiff. I do like Rib Skiff. Turns any of my non-toxic creatures kind of into a big toxic threat. Plated Onslaught, which plays well with some of my like go wide stuff like Skrelv's Hive and stuff. Got a lot of Testament. There's also Mandible Justice. I'm just gonna take the Rib Skiff though. I think it's a good card. Monument doesn't do anything. Okay, so our deck has 20 playables right now, and then these 2 lands. The weakest card is probably like one of these 2-drops, like this Fleshless Gladiator. Whew, nice pickup. Vivisection Evangelist is really good if you can enable Toxic, which we have some stuff to help us do that. So we're happy to get this. There's a Crawling Chorus that I would probably play just to help me get early toxic creatures down. And I have some Sacrifice Synergy and ways to use the 1/1 effectively thanks to the Seed Core and stuff if I can corrupt them. Vivisection Evangelist is great if I can get that corrupted going. Basilica Shepherd would also be nice, but yeah. So we have a couple of removal spells. Pretty good curve of creatures and threats. Creatures with Toxic have lifelink can be really good. Skrelv's Hive just seems like really good in my deck. If I ever play a control deck, it'll just win me the game, I feel like. It really helps me enable Toxic. It plays great with the Seed Core. So yeah, pretty happy about how this is going. Just need a couple more early enablers. Okay, there's Tyvar, which is completely useless. There's a Fleshless Gladiator, which we'll take. There's Orthodoxy Enforcer. There's Exuberant Fuseling. So some good red cards. The Fuseling's a pretty good one. I've been really impressed. I think I'll just take the Gladiator, though. Make sure I get another 2-drop. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drop creatures. The Skrelv's Hive, the Anoint with Affliction. So like 8 cards I'm relatively happy playing on turn 2. With like 9 picks to go, I have like a couple. I've got like a pretty solid deck. I don't have to play this Cutthroat Centurion, which I'm happy about. But I would like to get like 1 or 2 upgrades here. Here's another Rib Skiff. There's an Incisor Glider. I don't really think I want to play Feed the Infection anymore in this format. I just always lose when I play this card. I think Incisor Glider is interesting because it can play really well with all these like token things that I have going on. Like if I can get Skrelv's Hive going along with an Incisor Glider, it's really good. Ribskiff is also kind of expensive, and I have 5 4-drops already. Maybe I just take the Incisor Glider. It plays well with Necrogen Communion as well. The problem is I don't think I'm going to be able to enable Corrupted that easily. Like, I have 1, 2, 3, like a few cards to help me with Corrupted, but Incisor Glider on its own isn't the best. I just don't think Ribskiff I need a 5th 4-drop. I think Testament Bearer versus Ribskiff is like already like reasonable. Then this is just an easy Annihilating Glare. So I can make 1 cut from this deck. Annihilating Glare plays super well with Skrelv's Hive as well. I have 1. These Annex Sentries could actually be important for helping me enable Toxic. I would love that Flensing Raptor to wheel, but I doubt that's going to happen. I'm probably most likely to... Ooh, another Bladed Ambassador. I think I'll take that over the Glare. Just a really good card, honestly. Plays well with this Communion as well. I think I'll cut the Zealot's Conviction. My Bladed Ambassador is pretty good. I already have 2 Glares and an Anoint. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 2-drops. I'll probably cut one of them. And most likely this Fleshless Gladiator, which is just kind of a generic 2-mana 2/2 in my deck. I don't love Incisor Glider in this deck. Porcelain Zealot, eh? So all the other white cards did get taken. But Porcelain Zealot can turn like a 1/1 into a 3/3, which is nice. I should have taken Hazardous Blast as a hate draft, probably. It murders my board. Ooh, Mirin Bardiche. I think that's pretty good in my deck. I have a bunch of like tiny creatures that can benefit from it. Probably better than the Fleshless Gladiator. 4, 5, 6. Last pick, Veil of Assimilation. Shocking. Not really. I don't think that card's very good. Okay. So this is 26 playables, and then I have these 2 lands. So I'm going to have to make 1 more cut. There is Porcelain Zealot, which I could cut. Only giving a creature +1/+1 isn't the best. But it does play really good with Skrelv's Hive by giving the creature into a 3/3. And plays well with the Duelist and any card that I can put Necrogen Communion on, which is actually a good card in my deck, I think. So my 2-drops have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 2-drops that I'm happy to play on turn 2, plus an Anoint. A few 3-drops. A lot of 4-drops. Porcelain Cell is actually pretty good in this deck. And I've got some 5-drops. I think I want to cut Bone Picker Scourge, probably. Mostly because... maybe I'll cut a Testament Bearer instead. Yeah, I think I can cut a 4-drop. So yeah, I think Ribskiff is important. Testament Bearer is good. And Porcelain Zealot actually plays so well with Skrelv's Hive and with my Jawbone Duelist that I think it's worth including. And also with my Annex Sentries to help them punch through. Help me enable Toxic. I think the Mirin Bardiche is an interesting one as well. Maybe that's worse. Like, maybe it's better to not play the Mirin Bardiche and instead just play another Testament Bearer. That's probably better. Just a cheaper card. Zealot's Conviction is also interesting. I don't think I'm going to really benefit from it that much, though. A lot of my creatures are like low toughness. So yeah, we're going to play it like this. Looking at my color distribution, I'm probably going to go with an extra plains compared to an extra swamp because I have so many white 2-drops compared to black ones. So I'll go 8/7 in favor of white mana. And this is also can be used to cast Phyrexian creature spells, and all my Testament Bearers are Phyrexian creature spells. Whereas not all of my... I guess all my cards are Phyrexian, so I have pretty good mana. That's actually insane. All of my cards are Phyrexians. What the heck? It actually casts every single spell in my deck. What? I mean, all of my creature spells, at least. That's insane. But yeah, I'll go 8-7. Oh, no, maybe I didn't. Yeah, I'm going to go 8-7 in favor of white mana. Because I really want to be able to play my 2-drops early. And overall, very happy with this deck. Should be really fun to play in the games. And I will see you folks in the matches. If you would like to draft with me in events like this in the future, you can gain priority access to them by becoming a patron at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Patrons gain access to a bunch of exclusive rewards and benefits, and the support from patrons helps me make videos like this one. Special shout out to those who support the channel at the credits level. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round number 1. We are facing off against viewers just like you. And we're going to be playing 7 games, so whether I get the majority or the viewers, it's going to be a fun time. We're going to keep this hand. We have our Jawbone Duelist, where we can put Necrogen Communion on it to just get super toxic super early. We've got cool Mirage lands that we're using. Let's go, Jawbone Duelist. This was actually a really good draw. Testament Bearer is going to help me hit my spells. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is indeed. Okay. Play the Glider. No attacks. This being a 2/3 is annoying. If it was a 3/1, we would have been able to toxic already. Oh, no. Ah! Okay. You hate to see that. Jeez. Oh, gosh. The Necrosquito is a huge problem. If I was on the play this game, I would have won. Let's just be honest, because I would have been able to corrupt it, probably. Okay. This is fine. No blocks. We're going to trade this. Give him a little poison. I would love Skrelv's Hive. I'm going to take 5 next turn if I don't deal with their guy. But if they do hit me, then I could probably hit them back, because Black-Green's not really known for its flyers. I'm going to take the risky play. This gives all my guys lifelink right now. And it makes it harder for them to attack me with Necrosquito. Okay, so they hit me for 5. If they don't have a kill spell for my Incisor Glider, I'm in really good shape here. Okay, perfect. So hit them. So this is the one that makes them. It's not the one that buffs them. Kill their guy. And this thing will now buff up all my attackers, including the ones I make from the Murex. So I went for the risky play, and I think it paid off. So I would die to +4/+4 here. Or I can double block. I also die to +3/+3 because I'll take 1. No blocks. I'm gaining a lot of life next turn, I think. Okay. That was a good draw. So I can attack with this guy, they'll block it, and then I can use, like, just gain the couple life. And this way they don't kill my double striking guy. Look at this guy. Play my land. Gosh, literally winning the game because of this Necrogen Communion helping me enable Corrupted was huge. Getting Corrupted enabled was such a big part of this game. Okay. Got the win. Starting off on the right foot, getting a victory against Twitch chat. Huge. Absolutely massive start to this challenge. Nikolai 1, viewers 0. I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to round 2. We're facing another viewer. On the draw, I think I'm going to keep this hand. It's sketchy, though. I could easily lose. They're playing blue, which makes me feel a lot better. I do have like 8 2-drops that I can draw, all of which would be great. That's a really good card to help me stabilize as well. Perfect. Ooh, and then this card could be a good follow-up. Hoping they don't have Hex Gold Slash, because if they have like a deal 3, I'm in good shape here. Ichor Synthesizer, sure. Super funny that's how that goes. Well, I missed a land drop. They missed a land drop, so I guess we're on even footing. But all my cards are 4-drops. So that's not good. I'll just do this. Because otherwise I'm discarding a hand size. Sure. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. There is a land. Play the Rib Skiff, because that'll draw me another card, and then I can play this Mastercore, which will be absolutely huge. Because I can just start discarding my 4-drops to kill their stuff. And it's protection from their guys. I'll hold back this to block. Actually, I'm going to try to enable... they're just going to block it. Yeah. This card looks insane right here. I destroy all of their big guys. Sure. And I can eventually Annihilating Glare. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm taking 4, 6, 9 next turn. Oh no, I can cast this normally. I thought this would cost double black. They have a burn spell? Nope. Okay, perfect. That's such a terrible draw. So useless to me. Gosh, if only I drew a second swamp this game, it'd be so easy. Because then I could play this thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. And now I'm just gonna lose. Oh my gosh, this is so tilting. Keep this in hand in case they have... Oh my gosh, yeah. Yep, good game. Oh my gosh, I totally could have won that if I'd drawn a swamp. Getting my Vran into play would have let me sacrifice this thing to gain 2 more life. And then I could have played this thing. Oh my gosh. Feels bad. The viewers have equalized. 1-1. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We are on the play. We have a good hand. 2-drop. I wish it helped me get toxic, but it'll hit them. Blue again. Interesting. Blue-black. This card's good. Very good. Counterspell? Yep. Figures. Interesting, okay. Sure, that's a good card. Oh, that's a card that's gonna have to die. Like, oh no, Venser. Gonna play Rib Skiff. I'm gonna do this. Once again, getting toasted on my lands here a bit. Porcelain Zealot. I'm just gonna get the land here. And I'll be able to get an attack in with this Bladed Ambassador now because they won't be able to tap it. Because if they tap it, I'll just be able to crew the Rib Skiff. It's somewhat reasonable for them to proliferate. It does give me a nice attack, though. They shouldn't do anything. They should just take the hit for 3. Just play this guy. Sure. Two 5 is pretty big. I need to draw some spells here down the stretch. The fact that they've drawn 5 and I've drawn 9 is not good for morale. Oh, they can almost kill me. Actually, they can kill me. I'm dead on board. Yeah. They could have tapped this thing and hit me for the win. I'm getting ready to concede. Yep. GG. Oh, man. Ah, gosh. That's unfortunate. We're 1-2. Gotta bounce back against chat. / viewers. See you next round. Welcome to round 4. This is a crucial game in this match against viewers. I need to get this win so I can equalize at 2-2. I do have a good start. Job on Duelist into Annex Sentry is strong. And then I have Bone Picker Scourge to gain me life and stuff. And I have my Corrupted Payoffs. Oh my gosh. They're toast. Oh my gosh, I can Necrogen Communion this guy and hit them for 6 Toxic. Oh my gosh. And then Annex Sentry, whatever blocker they play. This is going to work out better. I just Annex Sentry their token, which just makes it perfect. Okay, this is definitely a start that I can probably win with. Because I was on the play and I had a turn 2 job on Duelist into Annex Sentry. Makes things very difficult on my opponent, I will say. Rusty, okay. Oh my gosh, what a rip. What a rip off the old top of the deck. Ripping off the top of the deck. Oh, that was such a good start. This is like the unbeatable start for my deck. Wait, why didn't they block the Sentry with their Rust Vine? That would have been free if they were going to jump block. Oh my gosh. Have I only played... I mean, I started with the Job on Duelist and the Sentry, but I feel like I'm just drawing the perfect card off the top of my deck every turn. I'm a little bit worried about them having removal, which is why I'm not just going for Necrogen Communion or something. Okay. What do they got? They could be at 2 points higher life if they just block the Annex Sentry with Rusty. Ah! That is a problem. That's pretty good. This will get me close on regular damage and poison. It also helps because if they kill the Incisor Glider, I can get it back instantly. If they'd used Rusty to block, they might actually be in like significantly better shape. I wouldn't be able to kill them next turn. But I would have made slightly different plays in that case. No blocks. Next turn I'll play Bone Picker Scourge over the Testament Bearer, I think, just because it's a better blocker. They're at 1. I've got plenty of attackers. Gosh, that Cinder Slash Ravager murderized my board. He equalizes 2-2. Good game, Thrakopen. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We are on the play with a sketchy hand that I'm going to keep. One land that I can go 2-drop into an Annex Sentry. I've got some pretty good 2-drops, and this card plays really well with the Sentry. Perfect. We found the land. Wrong color, but still. We only needed really one land for this hand to function. So we're off to a good start. We won the die roll, which is huge. Oh, they just kill it now. Interesting. Perfect. I'll play against you next, Gehitsu. Okay, in this critical 5th game of the match against chat. Oh, no. Feels bad. Actually, this will be fine. Land me perfect. Let's go. This is going quite well, I would say. They might have the Kemba. Oh. Okay. They do have the Kemba. Pretty much have to kill the Kemba here. Not only is it good for this reason, but it also puts them on a 2-turn clock. Buff itself. Yep, play around the Hexfold Slash. Make sure I can deploy both my guys. I wish I had drawn a land instead of this thing, actually, so I could have kept this guy around. It seems really good in the matchup. Play my 2 guys. They didn't equip, which means I think they have a white removal spell of some kind. The 1/4 can block this even if they equip the splitter thing to it. What will they get rid of? Okay. That's fair. That's a big draw. Could really set me up for this next turn, because this thing, plus all these guys, could be lethal. It's getting intense. I think they might be flooding out. I know I've complained about my... I complained definitely when I lost my games from like mana issues or whatever it was. But I've definitely had my fair share of good luck in these games as well. Got there. Up 3-2. Ooh, one game away from taking the match. I'll see you folks in the next round. Welcome to round number 6. I can seal up the victory here, and I've won the die roll, so I'm already off to a good start in that department. But chat won't give up without a fight. I'm up against Restless Stream here. I keep saying chat because I am streaming this event live, so if you're watching on YouTube. But I did select the viewers from the YouTube audience. I used message on YouTube, so... Oh my gosh, we got the combo at long last. I'm so excited to see how it does. If I can get some potential corrupted enabling going. So currently I'm just going to be curving out, because I can just kill that thing later with the Anoint with Affliction on a more mana efficient turn. So like if I draw another 2-drop, I can go 2-drop plus Anoint to kill this thing. Currently, I'm in okay shape here. This is exactly what I was talking about. First, I'm going to play Rib Skiff, though. And then I will not attack, because I can power up the Rib Skiff as a blocker. And it saves me 5 damage by holding back my guys. And I could only do 3 damage. Perfect. And now I'm setting myself up for more and more efficient turns, because then I can play this and kill their indestructible guy, or play this thing and crew this. Probably do this one, because then if they double block, I can blow them out. Sure. That's a good combo. That is certainly a good combo. Take care of that. Don't want to take too much damage here. Okay. Ah, they also have a hive. That's terrifying. No blocks. But now I will be enabling my Corrupted, which is really good, because then I can start turning my 1/1s into 2/2s. I'm just going to play this. I could have made my hive thing, but I'll just do that next turn. Sure. Sure. The Murex is really good for me here. Murex plus the Seed Core, my exact combo I built my deck around. Let's go. So I can attack, buff everything by +1/+1. I can attack with this guy and this guy. This thing. Trading this for this might not look good, but... I'm just gonna hold up my mana, make it a guy. It hits super hard. It basically makes a 3/3. Okay, they're taking some damage. But they're getting me poison. So their guys will gain lifelink. Okay, Dune Mover, sure. I'm a little bit worried if they put a land on top here. Unless it's like a third color. Okay, why do they need a 6th land? That's not good. They should probably suicide attack here to get corrupted, I would assume. That's what they're going to do. Yep. Got there. Woo! Taking down the viewers. But still, 1 round to go. So it's going to be either a close one or a potential blowout. Whew. Real wild. Real wild. Good game. Restless Dream. See you folks in the final round. Welcome to the final round of this viewer battle. I'm up 4-2, but viewers can keep it close. I'm finishing off the match against Giant Tortoise, and we have an unbelievable draw on the play. Oh my gosh, what a hand. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Just like, this could be, oh my gosh, I'm going to play the Hive. Hive is such a good card to have on turn 2. When you're on the play, especially because you don't really care about the blocking aspect. Nice. Oh my gosh, a 2nd Annex Sentry? Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a bloodbath. This format is sometimes very play-draw dependent. Oh, all 3 colors, nice, nice. If I miss my land drop for another turn after this one, it could get ugly. But I really just need to be able to play this Porcelain Zealot and then just start turning my creatures into monsters. With lifelink. Okay. Yes! We got there. Here's the Zealot. Huh. Chump blocking. Seems a bit early to chump block. Like this 2/2 seems like it has way more value if it's on the board. Probably didn't see that because my board is so wide here. I think they told me they might be playing on mobile phone or something, which definitely makes it harder to figure out. Yeah, they could have sacrificed their thing to that one. And then still had a creature in play. That's why it's like everyone starts out new at the game, getting better over time. So they can block 3 and they take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just make these attacks. These ones seem reasonable. I'm just taking the most expensive card I can because, ooh, removal spell, let's go. I'm going to play this guy. Skrell's Hive on turn 2 is an absolute beating. Glad we got to see that in action. Just like, oh my gosh. Are we going to get the Toxic Wind? Looks like it. Well, that's a messed up card. Let's just say that much. Skrell's Hive, eh? 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, we win with regular damage and poison damage, I think. Simultaneous victory. Whew. Well, that is going to do it for this battle against the viewers. I really hope you enjoyed it. As I said, if you do like it, let me know in the comments, and I'll do this for future sets. And yeah, if you would like to be participating in the future, I'm just opening up the deck so we can all look at it as I do this post-op. If you would like to participate in the future, I do send it out to the YouTube community, and I do give priority to NicolaiBolas patrons because they're the ones who support my content. So there were a few patrons in this one, and I really do appreciate everyone who supports my work over on Patreon. So if you're interested, check it out. It's a couple bucks a month, and it does help me make more videos, and I really appreciate all of the support over there. If you made it all the way till the end of this video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag the blue hurdle to let me know you made it all the way to the end, because I wasn't able to defeat the blue decks that I played against, but I was able to defeat the others. So 5-2 was the eventual score, and I was able to defeat the viewer representatives. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you. I hope you, my gosh, I'm stumbling over the outro, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.